Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Bellisio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Bellisio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Bellisio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at belisiofoods.com/careers.
Well, good morning, everyone. It is a rainy Tuesday.
It is.
Finally,
Right,
here
right.
in Southern Ohio. And it looks like the rain may continue here for a few days. And I don't think for probably one of the first times ever anybody minds. Because
No, definitely not. We need it.
we definitely need some water. I was out walking the dogs this morning and oh my gosh, I'm like, it's just dirt. Our
Right.
whole front yard is just dirt. It's so sad.
It's crazy.
And I feel like we could now we're all going to have to mow our grass again, but
Yeah.
whatever. It's okay. Well, we have a very fun special guest here in the studio this morning, and we're going to talk about something that I know absolutely nothing about. So this is going to be lots of fun. Could you tell everybody who you are?
Hi, everybody. I'm Stephen Fain. I'm with a organization, nonprofit community organization called Colton Disc Sports Association, and we're looking to bring recreation. My personal goal is to bring disc sports, which would be disc golf and ultimate frisbee. But so we're going to do a disc golf event soon, and that's what I'm here to talk about.
Well, very cool. And this is going to be so fun because so I know that this disc golf thing, I see kind of the courses. Are they called courses?
They are called courses. Yeah.
Okay. Kind of popping up places like, for example, we have some friends, the fellow friends that own breweries in Newark and
Okay.
Dank House Brewing, and they installed he has a lot of land around the brewery. And he installed a disc golf course, and
Right.
it was several years ago. I'm like, what the heck is disc golf? Like, I've never even heard of that before, but now I keep seeing things popping up all over the place. So I guess to begin with, can we talk about disc golf in general? And
Absolutely.
then we'll get to the Colton part of it because we're going to have this locally.
Right. It's one of the fastest growing non-team sports in America. Pickleball is the only thing that's growing faster.
Okay.
I mean, there's even a professional world tour for disc golf, and I mean, the winner, they're millionaires. They're making like professional sports money, $10-20 million, like
Stop.
ridiculous stuff. Right. There's some colleges starting to offer it. And no, we don't have scholarships yet, but it looks like it's probably heading that way.
Well, and that's a whole other topic that we can get onto, but we've talked about it here where, esports are becoming,
Absolutely.
college scholarship things.
Yep.
Like there's so many more opportunities for kids to get scholarships now. And if disc golf becomes one of them, so be it.
Right. And
that's so cool.
A kid needs a course to be able to walk around and play one if they're going to get good enough to go to college for it. Or like I say, go pro, but I'm sure that's like going pro in anything else. It's a pretty big dream.
I know. I'm sitting here wondering to myself, and I'll have you explain the game, but like, how do you get good enough at disc golf to become like, a pro disc golf player?
Practice. You wouldn't believe what some of the pros can do with the frisbee. I will openly admit I am not very good. I can throw one about 300 feet in the general direction I want it to go. But,
hopefully it does not go backwards.
But there are people that can put them 500-600 feet literally into a bucket. Like some of the stuff people can do is crazy, and it's just practice.
So, okay, throwing a frisbee can go down as one of the most humbling things in the world to do because
wait till you throw one over water.
Great, thanks. You're making me feel so much better now. But no, it is I know there's an art just like anything else to it. There's skill, there's God-given talent, whatever. But I'm sitting here thinking like frisbee, golf would almost be like, or disc golf. I mean, other golf, shooting sports, all of this stuff where the environment makes a huge difference as
Right.
well. Like the wind,
Yep.
rain, any of that stuff.
It all makes a huge difference. And first of all, just for the disclaimer, we're not allowed to use the F word.
Yeah, the F word. I realized that after I said it.
That's a trademark from
Yes.
Whammo Company.
Sorry, guys.
So
Just disregard what I said.
So it's disc golf with discs that look similar to what people would call frisbees.
Yeah.
But disc golf discs are a little different.
Okay.
They're not as domed. Like if you look at a regular, we can use frisbee when we're talking about frisbees.
Okay.
It's like really hooved up. And that's to make it glide. It catches the air and it just glides. But that also makes it really hard to predict where that disc's going to go.
Because the air catches
it's
air.
setting on the air.
Yeah.
So when you play disc golf, you normally you should have at least 3 discs. Some people pack around literal
I was gonna
carts.
say,
I know
this is like golf, where God knows where it's going to end
I know a
up.
guy that pulls a cart behind him and he carries 36 discs with him to play. Like me and my kids, we take 4 or 5 each. But at any rate, like they're different weights and sizes. Because you mentioned the environment.
Sure.
If it's windy, you got to throw the heaviest disc you've got, or you don't even know where it's going to go.
Right.
Right.
The wind is going to take it.
Right. So environment matters for sure.
Which is a catch-22 because you want the wind to take it. You just don't want the wind to take it somewhere where you don't want it to take it.
Right. You want to predict how long the wind is going to take it.
Yeah.
Is basically it. Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the logistics of playing disc golf. Like, so you and your kids get in the car and you go to a course. Like, what happens?
So, like, it's not.
Do you think of it like regular golf
like
where you tee off and.
It's exactly like that, except with regular golf. And now I'm only going to speak to playing disc golf in this area.
Okay.
I don't know about the big pro courses where they have hundreds of people playing every day.
Yeah, well, ain't none of us going to be that.
Exactly.
We don't have to worry.
but around here, like, there's not even any place to check in. There's no tee times. There's nothing like that. You just show up and play. It's just that simple. Most of the courses are in parks. Micah put the one in Chillicothe and Yakatangi Park, for example. There's one at OUC. And I mean, these are all just completely free. Anybody can just walk up and play. And I'm getting ahead of us, but that's what we're looking to do in Colton too, is get us a permanent disc, a permanent course that you can just walk over and play on.
Which that's super cool.
But the logistics, it's not much different from golf. Like, fundamentally, you have a tee box, you tee off, then you're hopefully on the fairway and not in the water, and you
or in the trees somewhere. Right.
My kids laugh at me. If there is a tree on the course, I will hit it. It doesn't even have to be in play. It can be on the hole, 4 holes over there at a distance I shouldn't even be able to throw a disc.
It will hit a tree.
I'm going to hit the tree.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the whole point is to get the disc into a basket, which is the hole.
Right. Right. And the format is exactly like regular golf, ball golf, whatever you'd want to call it. You're trying to get there in the fewest strokes, or in this case, throws as possible. Most of them are like par 3, par 4. So you're usually throwing between.
Oh, there's the basket thing.
Oh, yeah. That's what one looks like. And the chains are hanging there, so like you can throw it in and it will stop your disc and drop it in the basket.
So wait, are the chains attached at the bottom?
The chains are attached to the pole at the bottom. It's like,
well, how do you get the disc through the chains?
The chains just stop the disc. I know it doesn't look like it from that picture, but the chains are about probably 4 or 5 inches above that basket. And so it'll hit the chains and then the disc falls into them.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking the chains are going all the way down into
they're not. They're tapering down and they're bunched at the bottom. Like, it's so if you're throwing at it, you don't throw past it.
Yeah,
if it
that
hits
makes
the
sense.
chains, it falls into the basket. Because it's really frustrating to get close and then chuck one 50 feet on the other side of it.
But just like golf.
It is just like golf.
No, stop.
Yeah, it is takes seconds to figure out what you're doing, and I'm guessing maybe decades to really get good at it.
Sure, exactly.
But it's a lot of fun, and sometimes you don't know why you're having fun because you're really frustrated out there hitting trees all day long. But you know, you get to spend a day in the park with your friends or your kids, or even by yourself. I play some rounds by myself, just have a nice walk and.
Well, and that's what I'm thinking too. So a lot of folks, especially after, pandemics and things like that we've all had to experience lately,
Right.
have taken to the great outdoors to just to get out and have that me time and
Right.
and whatever. And it just seems to me like this is a little bit of fun while you're out walking.
Absolutely.
And you're seeing nature, you're exercising, but you're playing a game. It's all fun.
That's actually how I got started playing. I'm
really?
a big hiker. Like I hike to the point that I run out of places to hike.
I
And so
gotcha.
I just hike the same things over and over and over. And I found out they had a course at, let me think of it, Great Seal State Park. If I said the name wrong, I'm pretty sure that's the name of it. Just outside of Chillicothe.
Okay.
And their course, don't anybody go there for your first time because it is literally, it is just baskets on the hiking trail. Like, and that was the very first time I played. And legitimately, like most of the holes were par 3. I think my best score was a 9 or 10.
Okay.
Because it was just tree after tree after tree. And, no,
and we all know how that ends with him and trees.
yeah, no, I'm the type of person that challenge me is the last thing that you want to do. So I saw this as nature challenging me. And since then, I'll bet you there's not been 2 days go by that I've not went and thrown discs trying to get better.
Really? You're like,
Really?
by golly, this will not defeat me.
Right, exactly. And I got my kids into it and I've gotten friends into it. And my dad has started playing. He's like mid 70s, like it's great.
That's awesome. And that's what I'm thinking. As long as you're a bit ambulatory, I mean, you're not even carrying like golf clubs or anything.
Right,
Like it's not
right.
as hard or strenuous as
Right.
that.
You're carrying 2 or 3 Frisbees that weigh 150 grams each.
Yeah.
You got a couple pounds with you, maybe something like that.
Okay. So then you go. So how many holes would be on is it just like a regular golf course where it's 18 or is it?
Ideally, a course would have 18. Now, a lot of times these come in places like we're doing this one, and your community has a spot, and you just got to make your stuff fit.
Sure.
Like they have 18 holes in Yakatangi Park. I mentioned Yakatangi and Chillicothe. Yeah. So like you can make it fit. There are also places that I was telling you this before, that buy like abandoned regular golf courses and have just like massive places to play. But around here, that's not what you get. Most of ours are all municipal courses. And as far as I know, they're all free. There's a couple in Athens. There's 3 in Chillicothe. And you mentioned the pandemic. Disc golf blew up during the pandemic.
I'll bet.
Everyone's sitting home on the internet looking for something to buy to go do.
Sure, right. I mean, you're just like sitting in your house like,
right. And
it's safe to be outside, so let's go.
For those of us that get too into it, it gets expensive. We just have piles of discs everywhere. But for a normal person who can control themselves,
if you have self-control,
you can get a starter set for like $20. And realistically, that's all you're ever going to need to play as long as you don't throw one in the river.
Okay, so probably $40.
Probably $40. You're gonna throw one in the river.
You're like, yeah, that water, it gets you every time. So, all right. So your goal is to start this disc golf course in Colton.
In Colton, yeah.
So let's back up for a minute. Didn't Colton used to have like a rec, like a really pretty good rec situation going on?
Colton, for its size, had a really robust recreation. They sure did.
I thought they did.
Yeah, and
a few years ago. We always say a few years ago.
A few years ago, yeah. And we're not going to get into that because anytime you get in, there's finger pointing and this person did that.
Yeah.
And we're not here for any of that. That's the past. But that gives me hope because we're not just stopping at disc golf. We're looking to introduce ultimate, we are allowed to use the F word for this, ultimate Frisbee next year too, which you probably have no idea what that is.
No.
But this is the fastest growing team sport in America. It has world championships, excuse me, and Division I colleges have started giving scholarships. And it combines football, American football, and soccer, but it's played with a frisbee. We're not going to get into it too much today, but it's
okay. You're fascinating me. You got to give me something here.
So
Throw me a little bone here.
So it advances just like soccer. You don't have to line back up at a line of scrimmage, but the plays are ran just like American football. You have safeties, you have cutters making runs, and you cannot run with the frisbee. Once you catch it, you have to plant yourself like basketball, set a pivot foot, and move it on to a teammate.
Okay, and then, but you're scoring like a
You're
goal?
scoring a touchdown. You got to catch it in the end zone. I'm sorry.
Oh.
You got to catch it in the end zone, just like football, just like American football.
Fun.
It is so fun. It's non-contact. It's
not fun.
It's non-contact like basketball. You know.
There it is.
There we go. Yeah, there is contact. There's just not really supposed to be. So you don't have to wear pads and safety equipment. It is an incredibly fun sport.
It would be fast, I would think.
It is very fast. Very, very, very fast.
Cool.
But so I've got lining equipment to line a field out in, I guess what we would call the outfield of the current baseball field.
In Colton.
Colton. And we're going to start at least running ultimate frisbee clinics because I know we won't have enough people to play. And on the same field, we're going to do flag football next year.
Yay.
Yeah.
Fun.
We're going to have the baseball field back ready to play on again. What we get going, I can't promise because, you got to have players. But we're going to start offering recreation again, even if it's on a smaller scale than it was when we talked about before.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
Got to start somewhere, right? Yeah. And so where we're starting is disc golf.
What? He's excited.
He is. My son,
Come over here. Say hi to everybody. He's always a lack of words.
Say hi.
Hi.
Tell everybody, come back. You got to talk into the microphone. Tell everyone who you are.
I'm Rory.
So there you go.
He's not a man of little words, I promise. That was just a fluke incident.
But so we're going to start with disc golf.
Yes.
Because you don't have to have a team to play it. You can play it by yourself.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to set the demo up. We're going to set up 3 temporary holes. But we do have funding to put the course in permanently if the village decides to go for that.
If they will
if they
I guess allow it or
right. Like they have to decide, if they want to use that space for that.
So,
which no pressure, guys.
As we're here on international Main Street TV, a little pressure. No, that's cool. So where would this course be within Colton and how much space does it take?
Those are excellent questions, and I wish I could give you a better answer than I'm about to.
Okay.
So to put a whole, I'll get to it. I promise.
Yeah,
I'm not being a politician.
Hey, we
here.
got 45 minutes here. We can talk all day long.
To put a hole in, you have to set one of those baskets in concrete, landscape around it. You got to make you a tee box and get a sign made for it. So it costs around $500 or $600 to get a hole installed.
Okay.
And that's with me doing the labor. It's going to cost that.
Okay.
So we're hoping to do it in stages. Like right now, I would be looking after this event to put in the first 3 holes. And so we're going to try to design it. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself. Council has not approved this. This is just me dreaming.
No pressure.
No pressure. We're going to look to do it 3 holes at a time. So I can tell you where the first 3 holes would go, but I can't tell you at all where the next 3 may.
So do you have permission for the first 3 holes? Are we still, is this gray?
This is gray. Like, I'm hoping I get enough people to come out on the 5th that council says, well, I mean, there's no reason for us not to do this. We have people wanting to play,
Right.
And so getting to that, we're doing a free event. I'm partnering with a company, you see me repping them here, called Doomsday Discs.
Yeah.
They're a disc manufacturer. They're stationed in Utah, but, that's global world these days. And
Okay.
I have got a whole box, probably 40 or 50 discs to give out to people that come play. So
Really?
the first
Are you the disc passer outer?
he is. He's also going to be teaching throwing because he can actually throw really, really well these days.
Awesome.
But yeah, so and after we run out of however many we have, we're gonna have a whole box of loaners. So you just pick one out of the box, go play, and throw it back in the
Then
box
bring
when
it
you're
back.
done. So that event is going to be completely free, and if you get there early enough, you're even going to come home with free stuff. So
Hello, we all like free stuff.
everyone likes free stuff.
Yeah.
So you get to come out and give disc golf a try and see what you think.
So this will be. You're going to be a teacher. Yes. You can teach me because I got no skills. Why do we not have a camera on this child? He needs a camera. I mean, he's way more entertaining than you and I.
No doubt. No doubt.
So where is Alumni Park in
So-
Colton?
So Alumni Park.
I mean, it's Colton. I'm sure you can find it. But
I'm actually, some people have told me that I may not have that name right, but that's what the sign says in front of it. It's the old school site where the Colton School was.
so if you just keep driving straight into Colton, you're probably going to run right into it.
It's on Main Street.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's not many landmarks in Colton, but once you drive by the fire station, it's on your right. I mean, I don't think
Only in Southern
I
Ohio.
was gonna say, I don't think we can get more Appalachian than the
If-
directions I just gave.
If you drive past the rock that has the moss growing on it,
Look over and see if the farmer's in his field, and if he is, you found
there's
it.
a cow with 3 white spots on it.
Right.
Then turn left.
Embarrassing but true, you know.
Oh gosh. Okay. Yep. No, it is so true.
But you did ask if this is a good segue into you asked about expanding the course.
Yeah.
And again, this is just my dream idea, ambition, whatever.
Sure.
I would like to see it expand through Colton. So, like, to play the disc golf course, you pretty much walk through the village.
Well, that's fun.
Send people up by like James Rhodes' birthplace. We got like the historical marker for the first cash register used in Colton.
Yeah.
And I know these aren't major things, but
No,
I mean,
that's cool.
They're, you know, I mean, there's
It's
stuff to be
what
proud
you're known
of.
for.
Right, right.
Yeah, I think mention that. Somebody was telling me that the other day, and I had no idea about the cash register.
Yeah, so
first-
the first cash register, like used for retail, and I'm pretty sure that's what the little placard says.
Was it in Ohio or the
It was
country?
in Colton. Yeah, the first one in the country. The first one in the
First cash
country.
register.
Now, if I'm wrong on that, I mean,
No, I think it
Go
is.
read the placard for yourself, but I'm pretty sure that's what it says.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, let me plug the village for a moment because they're considering moving that to make it more visible to people.
That, I mean, it should be.
What I heard talked. What I heard mentioned, and I mean, I'm sure this isn't final, but they were wanting to move it over, like facing 93
Yeah.
on that park right there.
I mean,
So
that's
I
like
hope they do that.
really cool.
And then they're wanting to get. I'm hoping to help with this through the CDSA, but they're also wanting to get some kind of signage to honor Pat Duncan. I don't know if you know who Pat Duncan is or not. But,
I don't.
Pat Duncan, God, I should have looked this up so I'd have the years right. But he was a Major League Baseball player from Colton. Played for the Cincinnati Reds. This would have
Oh.
been circa 1920, probably.
Well, let's look it up.
1930.
We got phones.
Right. And
Pat.
so they're wanting to make a sign for him. I would like to see them when we get the field done. This is another thing that I'm throwing out here that's going to put undue pressure on people. But I would like to see him name the field for him personally.
Yeah.
I mean,
that
we
would-
have a
So he
baseball
played
field
pro.
for the Reds. Yeah. If anyone's ever in Colton and wants to stop into the community building, they do have one of his jerseys in there. Like it's hanging above the chamber, like where they do the council
Super
meetings.
cool. Well, I'm on Wikipedia, and Wikipedia would never lie.
Right.
So Pat Duncan was born October 6th, 1893, and died July 17th, 1960. Played Major League Baseball from 1915 through 24 for the Pirates and the Reds.
Yep.
And he was born in Colton, Ohio.
He
It
was.
says so.
He passed away
And he
in
died
Jackson.
in Jackson,
Yeah.
Ohio at age
Yep.
66
Yep. Pat Duncan.
in 1960.
So there
Now
you go.
you know.
Now you get some history today too.
Love that. See, you're just full of it.
Yeah, that's not the first time I've heard that.
This one's real full of it, aren't you, buddy?
Yeah, he gets it natural.
Yeah. What's that on your shirt?
Minecraft.
Do you play Minecraft?
Yeah.
Do you? Are you good at it?
I mainly Goat Simulator, but I'm not good at Minecraft now. But I usually play Goat Simulator 3. You probably don't know if it is.
I don't
And
know.
Fortnite.
And Fortnite?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you better at disc golf?
Yeah.
Are you?
Nah, probably not.
Probably
I'm
not.
good about my app of this golf.
There you go. He even plays a disc golf game on his tablet.
Oh, so I asked him, I was like, we were talking about dog. Oh, I was talking about my corgi playing
Right.
Frisbee. And I guess I can say that. I don't know.
You-
If someone wants to sue my corgi, fine. But I asked him if he had a dog, and he said no, he wants a goat.
Yeah, he would.
I'm like, what?
I want goat.
He would love to have a goat.
And I said, you should get like a little mini goat. And he said, no, I want a big adult goat.
Big goat.
We go walk around the
Goat.
cemetery in Colton a lot, and I think it's the Shooks, but I'm not sure. Somebody has goats that are like, all right, stop. Somebody has goats right up along the edge of the cemetery.
Oh, okay.
And he just dies just wanting to play with them or
Do you
whatever.
get to pet him?
One, one licked you yesterday, didn't it?
Do you, what would you name your goat?
Goat.
Goat?
Oh,
He would name his goat Goat.
I would name him Pilgrim.
Pilgrim?
Pilgor. That's the
Pilgor.
name of the character in the goat game. There's actually a really popular game in which you play as a goat. This is what got him into goats. That's
Heard.
what he was told. It's called Goat Simulator.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's mostly just a collection of meta jokes is pretty much all it is.
Okay.
You know,
And
so
a goat being an idiot.
A
right.
goat being an idiot. Well, goats are idiots, but that's okay.
That's my experience. Okay, buddy.
They're
you don't Have,
fun.
you don't have to defend goatdom today.
Yeah, goat. No, buddy, if you want a goat, you go for it. I'm all for it.
I'd be fine if it would evenly mow my grass. But
That's what I look at. I'm like,
Right.
hey, I got rid of my horses, so I'm thinking I need a goat to, help.
I thought about that, but I'm really picky about my yard.
Yeah.
Like I mow my yard like way too often and I weed it by hand and all
Yeah,
this. So
yeah.
I know the goat,
Yeah.
it wouldn't do it even enough for me. It would drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I just sat there drinking coffee in the morning,
And
looking
it would
out
be
at
like
it.
the goat man.
Yeah, I would end up cursing the goat's existence.
Yes.
You know.
I could see that.
No, you won't.
The goat. I feel like he would have the goat in his room anyway, so
He would. I'd
it
probably
doesn't
never
matter.
see the goat. If I would get him a goat, I guarantee number one thing on the Christmas list next year is a saddle.
Yes.
You'd see my son disc golf backpack on riding a goat.
Ride his goat to the disc
Yeah,
golf course.
Looking to go past the fire station so we can see it on the right.
Past the mossy rock and the cow with 3 spots.
Right.
To find a goat, you'll see a kid named Rory riding a goat to the court.
There
Yep.
you go.
Riding a goat to the course. Yep. No, I mean, I feel him because we had a mini donkey for quite some time. And there was a few years ago, I can't remember how long it's been now, but it snowed like a lot. Like we had
Right.
like 12 inches of snow at our house. And bless his little heart. I mean, it was like up to his chest. So I was like, Jamie, can we bring Jasper inside? And he was like, absolutely not. I was like, but we have an unfinished basement. I'm like, I could just put him in the basement and he would, be warm and dry. And he was like,
Right.
absolutely not.
So
So
he
I
did-
would have brought him in.
He didn't get warm and dry.
No, he didn't.
So did it
He-
like come up to his
Actually,
neck?
he got put in the barn. So
Yeah.
But honestly, he would have rather have been outside in the snow up
It was
to
probably
here, so
interesting
he-
to him.
Yeah,
it was
he
probably a
didn't
fun
care.
day.
That we worry way more about them than
They do.
Yeah,
right,
than they
right.
do.
They're
but,
like, yeah, this is just a thing.
yeah,
This is-
they're like, it's snow, it's fine. It's just icicles are hanging for me. It's all good. Anywho, we digress. So how do you keep people from, hitting each other with discs if you're gonna do
You yell,
you yell four.
you yell, you
Just
yell
like golf.
four, and that's really about it. I can't believe I'm going to tell this. If I hadn't once hit a cyclist, I would say I've never seen anyone get hit. No, we can skip that. In fact, it bounced off the cyclist and hit a car.
You do suck.
Oh, I'm terrible. So that's the good thing. Like, people can come see and they're like, well, I can be as good as this guy, you know? Like,
Hey, I was just thinking maybe you'd get an extra point for hitting, a moving target.
the worst part was I had to try to keep from laughing because the guy was mad, understandably. I mean, he wasn't even on the course. Like, he was where he was supposed to be, pedaling through a parking lot of the YMCA in Chillicothe, and I just swarped him right on the shoulder. But do you know how hard it is to not laugh when you watch a frisbee fly? Like, I mean, it was one of the distance-wise. It was, I can't throw a frisbee that way. I'm sorry, a disc. Sorry, Whammo. I can't throw one that far. So I'm just like looking at it in awe. I'm like, oh, wow. So this is
Wow,
like
I nailed
and
this
then
one.
I'm like, oh, crap. Oh, crap. And I started screaming. Just boom, he goes down. It bounces off a car. My daughter is almost on the ground laughing. Just bad scene. So don't do that. Don't hit any cyclists.
Although we can laugh about it here on the air now. I mean, everyone survived. It was fun.
Everyone survived. But typically, I mean, you don't throw at each other. Just like regular golf, if somebody's playing in front of you, you wait till they're
don't
far
hit the
enough
ball at
away that
them,
you're not
yeah.
going to hit them, right?
And play pass with frisbees, though.
And that's the other thing. He's correct about that. If I throw a frisbee towards you and I yell, you can turn around and catch it. You can't exactly catch a golf ball.
True that. Yeah.
A frisbee, it's just a plastic
You can
disc.
just or even if you hit it down, like it's
you
not
can
going to
smack
hit you in
it
the head.
down, or you can duck, or you can just turn. I mean, if one hit you in the back or the shoulder,
Right.
it
doesn't.
worst case scenario, you got a little bruise, but you probably don't.
Right.
They're not really that dangerous, is what I'm saying.
I
You can
gotcha.
ask the cyclist. He's
fine.
he never sued me, so I assume that means he's okay, right? God, I hope he's not. I hope he's not watching.
He's like, it's that guy.
Because now he has my email address.
Right.
My son threw it, I swear.
Oh my God, this is so funny. So so I was telling you we have this corgi named Olive,
Mhm.
and people that watch this show know about Olive because corgis are a hoot just in general, but then she is a real hoot. But Olive is obsessed with, playing. And so I have gotten fairly proficient at throwing how of course, corgis are only this tall. So you got to kind of throw it like at her level. And, but what is there a technique? Because I know, like, I can go out there and throw the disc, and my husband can, and his goes twice as far.
Right.
So, and I was like, how do you do that? And he was like, well, you just like go like that, and then you flip your wrist at like the last second. And I'm like, I try that, and it goes, God knows where.
So the most
It
important,
hits cyclists.
the most important, it hits cyclists. The most important thing about any frisbee or disc, no matter what you're playing, your husband's right. It's to get some sort of snap so that disc spins. You want to spin the disc pretty much as fast as you can make it spin.
Okay.
And then science takes over and the disc does what it's supposed to in the air. I have discs that are designed to turn right and I have discs that are designed to turn left. But if you don't throw them hard enough, all they do is just crash to the ground on their side.
Okay.
So, excuse me, there's a whole range of, there's a speed rating on discs.
Okay.
Most people that just play with a regular frisbee don't know that, but speed ratings go from 14 to 1. Around a 5 or 6, everybody can throw. Like, that's what my son throws. He's 7. You guys saw him jump in here. And he has a 5 and 6, and he can spin them at the speed they need to go. But that is the ticket, is the spin.
Okay.
But there's a bunch of different throws, too. I throw forehand and backhand. There's overhands. There's all kinds of things that make your disc do different things.
There is
The overhand is his favorite because if you throw it, I don't know if this term's offensive, and I hope it isn't, but it's what it's called. It's called a tomahawk throw.
Oh,
like
okay.
Over, so you throw it like completely
axe.
straight, like an axe, like a tomahawk or an axe, right? Now, if you throw it hard enough, they will flip over and fly. But if you don't, they land on their end and roll. And you can roll one under a tree 300 feet if you need to.
Okay.
And if you take a disc and you throw it, I'm going to call it backhand, what we would call a normal frisbee throw
how
like
you
this.
would throw, yeah.
Most discs are going to go out and then they're going to fade to the left and end.
If you throw it right-handed.
If you throw it right-handed. If you throw it four-handed, it's just like you threw it left-handed.
Okay.
And the disc goes out and it fades to the right.
Or if you're real lucky, you can throw it with either hand.
Right. Which I can do, but I can't throw very far left-handed.
Yeah.
I can throw accurate, but not far.
And there's ways to get more distance, like run-ups.
Yeah. The disc golf throw is a little different than a typical frisbee throw.
Okay.
It's way closer to a tennis swing or even a baseball swing because you try to load up at your hips and come through hard. I mean, people throw disc golf discs really hard.
Well, I was gonna say, how far? I mean, when you're really good, how far would you throw a disc?
500 feet, 550 feet. And I mean, there's people that can throw that distance and like it goes where they mean for it to. For a decent amateur, which is what I would call, I hate to call myself decent when I admitted I hit a cyclist a little bit ago, but I can throw about 300 feet relatively accurately. But it took me a while to get there.
Sure.
Rory probably, that's my son's name, he probably throws about 150.
Okay.
But he throws straight now. So.
Okay.
Okay, bud.
And then is it like golf in the sense that you girls and kids start at one spot and guys start at another, or how does that work?
They call them blue tees and red tees.
Okay,
and
so there are
the
different.
concept is the same, but I've never heard anyone refer to it as ladies and kids.
Okay.
Like it's just novice and advanced.
Yeah, because I mean, there's girls out there that can probably throw 500 feet too,
Absolutely.
that are good.
There are. I mean, there's a female pro tour and a male pro tour. And there's
now I need to feel like I need to YouTube this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a woman named Kristen. I think her name's pronounced Tatar. It's Tattar.
Okay.
And she's like the best in the world. I mean, she's one of those athletes. She's so good, people hate her just for being good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like you
she's
can't
that
even
level.
cheer for her.
You can't even
just
cheer
like,
for her because she wins so much. You want someone else to win.
Yeah.
But look up some videos of her throwing a disc, and you just won't believe it.
That's awesome. Love that. Okay, so let's talk for a minute about what you have going on in Colton again.
Yes.
Because as we've been sitting here talking about disc golf, which I think is so very important to, expose our viewers to, because I think a lot of people are like, what the heck are they even talking about? It is a thing, and it's certainly an up and coming thing. And the great thing about disc golf, as you said, I think this was off the air, you don't have to have a $2,000 bag of clubs. Like,
Nope.
You know what I mean? You just need a few discs and anybody can go out, and it's basically just exercise and fun.
My whole family started playing with 2 discs that I found on a hiking trail. That's what started this.
So you started free.
I found 2 discs, and I mean, they were beat to pieces.
Yeah.
Like they were in bad shape. But we were like, well, let's just give this a try. And the first time that you throw one that feels good to you, you're like, oh yeah,
You're hooked.
yeah, I get it. But mostly, I mean, it's just you can walk around the park, go spend a day with your family, with your friends, And
that's the whole point.
And
it is a family
need to
affair.
do that more. Right. And
We
plus,
should.
incredibly cheap. Like I said, $20 gets you a 3-disc starter set. That's everything you need to play.
So where do you, I assume you're going to say Amazon, like everything else
I
in the
will
world.
not.
Okay.
You won't ever hear me say that. For an answer.
Okay. So where do you get the equipment to start?
I got to be careful that I don't just plug my people, but Any sporting goods store, Dick's Sporting Goods in Chillicothe,
Okay.
Dunham Sporting Goods.
Oh, so they have that
A
kind
lot
of
of
stuff.
Walmarts do. I truly don't know if our Walmart does or not.
Okay.
I'm not going to get into that, but I don't go in Walmart very often. But some Walmarts do. You can order them anywhere online. I actually encourage you not to use Amazon. Just Google it. I just dropped a name brand anyway, and then pick a manufacturer and go with them.
Okay.
One, you're going to get better prices and better service, but most importantly to me, you're supporting the industry and not people trying to make money off it being up and coming.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah.
And
Now we mostly throw, it's one of our sponsors for this. It's a company called Doomsday Discs.
yeah, so you
And-
can check them out. I'm saying that, you're not saying
Correct,
that. But they've been
correct.
very kind in helping out.
Indeed. Like I said, they sent us a whole box of discs that we're going to give out. Our baskets, they're all all from Doomsday Discs. They're all branded that way
Okay.
and everything. They've been an incredible help in everything that we're doing here. They're not,
Wonderful.
it's
So if you and this is me saying it, not you saying that, but support a company that's supported us locally.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
it's reputable and
Yep.
and whatnot.
And hopefully you all go to our website or our Instagram, and there you would even find a code to get 10% off at that place if you wanted to, but I will not do that on air.
Awesome. So it's doomsdaydiscs.com if you
Correct.
want to start looking at the stuff,
Right.
because I think that's like the main thing. And is there like a starter kit on there?
There is. They have
so
a
you
starter
can just
kit.
be like, okay, I don't know what I need.
I think their starter kit's $22.
Okay.
Something like that. They have
Awesome.
like $4 flat rate shipping, but there's some other big companies, so I might as well drop them. Like these are all probably the name I'm saying .com.
Armory discs.
Yeah, there's Armory Disc Golf. There's Dynamic Discs, Discraft. Dynamic Discs, Discraft, and Innova are probably the biggest three companies.
Okay.
They're like the major, if you watch any of the pro stuff, they're the ones sponsoring the pros, and those are the
Okay.
discs everyone's throwing.
Awesome.
But as far as price goes, individual discs, the starter sets are your best way to go.
Sure.
Individual discs run anywhere from $8. There's some people that pay insane amounts for
Oh,
them.
but just like bowling balls and everything
Exactly.
else.
I mean, there are discs that even like at retail go up to like $69, $70. My bag is mostly Doomsday, and I don't think I have a disc I gave more than $11 for. Most of my discs were given to me,
yeah.
honestly.
Awesome.
But the money isn't an obstacle. It's not an obstacle at all.
See, and this is what's so good. So all you need is you, yourself, and you,
Yep.
and
a disc.
a
with you.
disc.
Yep. And if you show up between 1 and 3 on the 5th, if you're one of the first 50 or so there, you get a free disc. So.
And you get schooled by this young gentleman
Yep.
here who will teach you how to throw.
You can feel bad that you can't throw as far as a 7-year-old. So we're giving you that right out of the gate.
That's right.
We're going to go ahead and attack your self-confidence.
Yeah,
as
you
soon as we
will
get
feel
going.
like a big piece of crap when you leave, because he is going to school you.
Yes, I am.
But no, for real, it's like I said, I'm not very good. I mean, here I am promoting the sport by admitting I hit a cyclist. So it's not like it's not like you have to go out and wow everybody,
Or
You
whack everybody.
or whack everybody. It's mostly just play against yourself,
Yeah.
try to do better than you did the time before, and most importantly, get outside.
Yeah. You're just moving your butt, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
So, yeah. Okay, so October 5th in Colton, past the fire station.
On the right.
On the right,
Beside the hay bales.
and the mossy rock. I don't think there really is a mossy rock. I was just using that as an example. October 5th, 1 to 3. Come and learn how to play. Or if you're good at it, you can show off and maybe help teach some others how to.
Absolutely. And we're
how to do
also
this
going
as
to
well.
be doing a long
Disc golf.
drive and long putt competition that will be given a disc
Ooh.
for, just in case people do already play and just want to come out and see how it's going to look. We can get them out there too. No.
You want the mic for a second? Oh,
That's a frightening thought.
I was going to say, by all means,
Okay.
come over here. What do you want to say?
I will teach you to throw.
There you go. That sounded vaguely menacing, but
I want you.
just remember, if anyone was offended, he is speaking for himself, not for me. I'm already getting sued by a cyclist this morning.
Right, exactly.
I don't need some intimidation suit coming too.
No, that is awesome. This is a great event, and it's kicking off hopefully to get the recreation program in Colton back up to speed as it was several years ago, where for a tiny village, it was a really cool thing they had going on.
We're going to get there again. We're doing a lot of cleanup projects, which I'm not going to get into that one here, but Colton's coming back.
And if you want disc golf, contact your council people as well.
There you go.
Me.
And him, apparently.
And him. Why don't you just take him to council? He'll have them convinced in no time.
No doubt.
They'll be like, if you just stop talking, we will vote for it.
Yeah, but if there wasn't a camera on, he wouldn't be talking.
He wouldn't be talking, huh? Well, I hope you get your
But
goat.
I'm going on live.
Okay, bud.
It's too bad he's so shy.
Yeah, he gets it from me.
Yeah.
Like, we're a real shy family.
I can tell. Well, best of luck to you. This sounds like a blast. And when you have developments, please come back and see us, because this will be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. It was a wonderful time.
Absolutely. All right. So Jeremiah is in the house. I think we have a message from our friends at Vinton County Bank, and then we'll be back with Jeremiah.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
All right, we are back with our good friend Jeremiah. And
good morning, Jen.
Good morning.
How are
Have
you?
you ever played disc golf?
I don't think so.
Seems like it would be fun though.
Yeah, no, I think it'd be fun. You know, you see sometimes you go to different state parks and you see the disc golf. I think in the they got like the basket that's like the
And
chains.
with the chains,
and
yeah.
You throw
And the
it
thing is, you know, as our guest was saying, most of the time it's free.
yeah,
You know, it's just something to get people out and about,
Right.
And have some fun and
yeah,
play
they
with
have
the family.
like a whole course, kind of like golf.
Yeah.
I've seen. There was one, I can't remember where I've seen it at. I feel like Hocking Hills, maybe.
Probably.
There's one down through there somewhere that you go along, and it's different places.
Yeah.
But
Very fun.
that's interesting.
Yep.
I usually cover Colton Council, and I know Red Thompson Jr. was at the last meeting, and this was something he covered and I believe wrote about.
Yeah.
So be interesting to see how
Yeah.
how the turnout and
Hopefully
stuff
they
is
can
for
get that
so.
started.
Yeah.
And that would be, I mean, you want to talk about, you know, economic development and all that, you know, it's people come to Colton to play disc golf. There's
Yeah.
not really a course around here that I know of.
I don't think so.
So there you go. They're going to spend money.
Very good. So last night I ventured up to the city of Wellston.
Okay.
They had that town hall meeting at the Wellston City Building.
Yeah.
And it was to discuss the Luby Theater and upcoming renovations that they have planned there.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for the meeting, so here's, for those watching on TV, here's a picture of the Luby in its current state. And
You can't really see lack thereof ceiling, but
yeah, you can't hear, but you can in another picture that we'll talk about after this,
okay.
that we'll put up after this, because I have a related story.
Gotcha.
So last night's meeting was to talk about the city's upcoming AMLR grant submission.
Okay.
And for those that didn't know, AMLR stands for Abandoned Mine Land Economic Revitalization
Yes.
Program. And Wilson's been very successful at getting these AMLR grants.
Sure.
They said last night that they have, I think, received 2
Mm-hmm.
since like 20. It's been several years. They've received one for one thing and one for another. And the city of Wellston has all those abandoned mine land.
Of course, yeah.
And a lot of the city was built on abandoned mine land, and so that's what they're going for the Louis. And there was about it was close to a dozen folks there last night, and the mayor kind of led the discussion with those in attendance about their plans for the Louis, which is to, they're obviously going to restore it, but not in the sense of it being a theater. They want it to be a venue that people can use for, weddings or meeting places, kind of like our Parks Edge Event Center is used for different things. That's what they want for the Louis in the city of Wellston. A large place with, tables, chairs, and some of the people brought up different points to them that maybe they can look for other grant money for, for sound systems. And somebody mentioned like a prepping area. They said a lot of people, when they have weddings, won't book a venue if there's not a prepping area.
Yeah, you kind of need that small kitchen area.
Yeah,
off
small,
to the side,
small kitchen, nothing too big, but something that, And the initial thought was that they would use the Louis in connection with the depot because they're both close by. They had just done a bunch of kitchen work to the depot, and they said the depot is booked almost every weekend for stuff, and they're hoping that the same will be for the Louis once they get it going. So anyway, they had a good discussion. It was about 45 minutes worth of talking back and forth about different things.
Awesome.
And they're still asking for anybody that's watching that maybe couldn't attend, but you want to send in support letters for the project. You still can do that. You have to send it by end of day or before the end of day, Wednesday, September 25th. And you can email those letters to meisnoggle@cityofwellston.org, or you can drop them off at the mayor's office.
Okay.
So they hope to get some letters in there. And, with folks showing up last night, everybody had to sign in, including myself. And, we'll obviously have coverage on this as well, which will help them too. So just wanted to touch on that. So in addition to this, on the same track as the Louis, we had an article in Saturday's edition about how the Louis is getting some state money.
Okay.
So we ended up doing a 2-part story. The first part ran in Saturday's edition, and it was about the Wellston Louis and the money it received. And then in tomorrow's edition, we'll have a part 2 story about the Jackson Memorial Building and state money it's receiving.
Okay.
And the stories are connected. We had Ohio Speaker of the House, Jason Stevens, down. He was in Jackson County on Friday, September 13th, and here he is with Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner, and they are inside the Louis, and you can see Jason there asking him some questions, and they're talking about a lot of what I've already discussed from the meeting last night, where they're wanting to turn.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there's a good photo. People kind of spread out, checking it out, and you can see the sky from above. So several years ago, the roof was taken down, and I have some information here about this, but the Louis, I'll just read what I've written here. Two historic buildings in Jackson County that date back to the Great Depression have each received funding from the state to work towards preserving the past while looking towards the future. And High Speaker of the House, Jason Stevens, he also represents the 93rd House District, which includes Lawrence, Jackson, and Gaia counties. He visited Jackson County on Friday, September 13th, and he toured both the Louis there as well as the Memorial Building. And we'll talk more about the Memorial Building tomorrow and about what the plans are for that money. Okay. And those 2 projects are funded by the capital budget. Earlier this year, the Ohio House of Representatives, as well as the Ohio Senate, each passed House Bill 2. House Bill 2 was later signed off by Ohio Governor Mike DeWine, and the bill featured, Ohio capital budget allocations in the amount of $3.5 billion for fiscal years 2025 through 2026. Within those capital budget dollars was $700 million earmarked as part of, they call it a one-time strategic community investment fund. So the Wellston's city-owned Louis Theater and Jackson's city-owned Memorial Building are both getting that one-time investment fund monies. So, a little bit about the Luffy. Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner, they got 1.5 million in funding to put towards that project. The plan is to work on the exterior with those monies.
Okay.
So the goal is, and they're hoping to start soon. They talked a little bit about that last night. They want to, once they receive that money, they can get going, bid it
Okay.
out or whatever. Or no, they said something about they thought about maybe doing work in house to save themselves some money.
Mm-hmm.
So, the goal is to get the roof on. Got to have the roof on, doors, and that'll kind of get it secured again.
Sure.
So it's under roof.
Yep.
I think
He definitely need a little top on.
right. I think the goal is maybe to get it under roof before winter.
Yeah.
I think would be the goal.
That would make sense.
I'd hate to see it go through another winter open.
Yeah.
But a little bit for those that don't know about the Louis. It opened in the 1930s and operated as a classic movie theater. The theater served as a location for entertainment while representing the economic prosperity of the town. Unfortunately, the theater suffered a decrease in attendance, and it eventually shut down in 2003.
Mm-hmm.
So over 21 years ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's been that long.
Yeah.
I was saying before, I can remember going and watching a movie there in the early 2000s, and it was Toy Story 2
Yep.
when I was a kid. So that tells you how long ago it was. And back then, originally it opened as a single screen, and over time it got split, and it was two screens.
Mm-hmm.
And I can remember when going and watching, and when it was two screens. But so prior to the city owning it, Steve and Melissa Hammond of MacArthur had purchased the building. They actually purchased it in May of 2018. And so that was 15 years after it had shut down. And they had expressed intent to renovate the historic theater into a theater kind of like the Marquee.
Okay.
Was their goal, I think. And they did some preliminary work, as you saw in the photo there, of removing the roof. They took a lot of when they inherited it, a lot of the seating was still there. Just debris from where some of the roof had come down, just trash in general. And they cleaned up a lot of that, but there was still, some of that left there. And the theater, as you saw in that picture, it's still without the roof, but the roof joists and the walls remain. It's still structurally sound. And it was very close to being demolished. The Hammonds had kind of signed in a consent form with the Jackson County Land Bank, and this was in 2022, and they were considering the demolition of the old theater, but there was a bunch of outcry and discussion from the public. We need to save this. The former mayor of Wellston, Charlie Hudson, he just wanted it down. The current mayor,
on and off again for
it was
many
on and off
times.
for a long time. And the current administration decided to purchase it. They bought it for $10,000 from the Hammonds. And that Louis's got a very unique look. It's the Art Deco style.
Kind
And
of like our Marquee here.
yeah. Do you still have? There was a picture of some boards at the front of the room. Can you zoom that in a little bit on that one there? So they've kind of kept in their renderings. They've kept that Art Deco style alive.
Sure.
They've added windows, but that's kind of the front of the marquee and everything.
Yeah.
They want to keep that as a
Awesome.
part of the future. So today, besides the 1.5 million that they should be receiving any time, there's been $60,000 spent on the Louis through grants. They had received a grant in the latter part of 2023, which helped them clean out the remaining debris. And you can see in the other photo there where everything was cleaned up in there. It looks good. And then they had gotten a $40,000 grant, and that helped them do the engineering and those plans that you saw there for the venue. And then, obviously the 10 grand that they spent to buy it. So, but anyway, they're hoping to develop that unused city-owned building into a venue for public events, private events, etc. But they're hoping that it'll be like just something downtown that's,
Yeah, like a centerpiece.
They kind of talked about Logan and how, Logan's got their old theater that they opened several years ago, and you know, it's kind of like that center, that downtown. You got all those other businesses. And it's just and they're hoping the same for the city of Wellston there. But as Brenner had put it, he said that building has a lot of character and it will be a hallmark for the revitalization of the downtown district. So I wanted to share a little bit about that. We have a couple other little things here that I can cover tomorrow when we get into the memorial building. I will say that I took video footage at the memorial building, which I didn't realize how bad a shape the memorial building is in.
Okay.
Like, you should see some of the masonry, like that's just fallen and stuff. And then, anyway, I took video. I have video that I need to put together, but I've not had time because, you know, last week we had the Apple Festival. And hopefully I can get a nice video put together at some point that you guys can show on the show that kind of talks about all the work that's going to be done and showcases those buildings.
Yeah, for sure.
So hopefully we'll have that in the future for you.
Very good. All right. Well, very, very cool. We will be back and talk about more stuff. There's all kind of, you know, great things going on. And
it's always great when we get some money done this way.
Yeah.
To do stuff.
You're not kidding.
Yeah.
You're not kidding. All right. Well, have a great day, everyone. It is raining out there. Yes. I can hear the thunder boomers as we speak. So, but we sure do need it. And, but if you have to be out and about, just be careful. And we will see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
Read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.